Well, the real estate market here in Southern California and around the country continues to struggle. But if you know what you're doing, you have the right expert on your side, you can still do reasonably well in the conditions right now. But again, that expert has to be in your corner, and that guy is Bryan Garrity. And this morning, Bryan joins us here again on San Diego Living to kind of update us on some of the latest things and to answer some of your questions. Just give us the brief overview, the update now. Things looking any better in the San Diego real estate market?
Actually, the foreclosure postings in California were up like 36% from September to October. So you're seeing prices either be stagnant or decrease. Some areas you may see a very small appreciation, but 1 or 2% is so negligible at this point. That
overall, we're still struggling.
Yeah, we're struggling.
And again, as you say, that foreclosures are up, which means people are suffering with distressed properties, right?
Right, which also means the bank and their processes are getting a lot more streamlined. So you're not running into as much chaos as you are people actually, they're up and running. So where you may have had a year, 2 years, just like we say ad nauseum, like 2 years sitting there, you're going to quickly see those days evaporating and disappearing.
So the banks are doing a better job then. So
absolutely.
That's the upside.
I mean, a better job on foreclosing on you. So I mean, that's scary. So you're that time frame that people keep wanting to wait. It's like, okay, call to action every week, call to action every week. It sounds like it's redundant, but you need to really, at this point, make your plan. I mean, it's coming to the point of the heyday of being able to sit in your house, drag it out, do whatever it is that you were doing, the bank not being responsive, trying to get a loan modification.
I see what you're saying. So this is not, you're talking about them streamlining it, but not necessarily
not for your benefit. Favor. No, definitely not.
Well, let's go to our Ask Big Daddy segment then here today. And this is asked by Mary of San Diego. She says, what is the difference between a notice of default and a notice of trustee sale?
Okay, we get this question all the time. So we talked about the foreclosure timeline before. So a notice of default, that's your first warning shot that you're going to be you're in serious default at that point. So you're at least 90 days past due. California, they can't take your house back through judicial means. It's through a non-judicial means, and it's a notice-based state. So those notices, notice of default, notice of sale, very key instruments into repossessing and the bank having the right to repossess your house. That's why everything has to be followed and followed to a T. So that notice of default is hit number one. You're 90 days late. It's the warning light is roaring. You need to, if you're at that point, you need to be doing something about it. Notice of trustee sale, you're on your last leg.
That's it. That's it. Ready to sell your house.
21 days. They give you 21 days. Now, you were seeing a lot of postponements, but going back to what's happening, you're seeing an increase in the actual numbers of homes being foreclosed on. You're not seeing the postponements being given out so readily. So you really need to really step up and get rolling on these things.
And that's where you come in as the expert, helping folks navigate the process. Now, this is asked by Rose of Chula Vista. I haven't made a mortgage payment in almost 2 years, waiting for the bank to modify my loan. Now the bank will not accept my payment when I try to make it. Is that legal?
Well, of course. I mean, the bank, you have a note, a legal obligation with the bank, and the bank, if you miss one payment and they decided, you know what, we're not accepting any more payments from you, they don't have to. Generally speaking, the bank, after your notice of default is filed, so it ties in nicely to the last question, will stop taking payments because they'll want you to either cure, because you're so seriously past due at that point, 3 months or more, they're going to want you to either cure your past due arrears, or they're going to want you to work out something, short sale, foreclose on you, get a loan modification, heaven forbid. But it's one of those things where they can, the foreclosure process is stepping up, and I don't know, it's craziness.
All right, well, let me I
totally lost my train of thought on that. I'm sorry, I'm being on it, but I just totally lost my train of thought.
I'm going to put your offer out there for folks right now, though, because we haven't been able to do this in the last several months because you've been so busy. But you're going to make some time here and do 2 free loan modifications, start to finish, for folks.
Right.
So how do you want to determine
who
that person is going to be?
It's first 2 people that call or what have you. But just to reaffirm, we'll deal with, come in, we'll meet with anybody. But this is actually taking the manpower to actually do the modification. We're doing this as a good neighbor, policy to help some people out that may be too busy or encumbered otherwise, but we can't do that for everyone. It's just too much of a drain on the office.
Okay, of course. So, but again, as always,
but anyone call. We'll get you situated. Yeah, absolutely.
You'll represent anybody. You'd love it if it was a nice, simple listing or a nice, easy sale.
Merry Christmas. Come on, Santa's waiting.
So Bryan will be glad to handle that stuff for you, but certainly if you got the more complicated situations, he's the expert on that. So again, Bryan Garrity, it's always good to see you.
Yeah, it is you too.
And,
Sorry about that.
Keep your questions coming for Ask Big Daddy, and we'll get them answered for you right here on the program.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you. All right, for more information, you go to san diego6.com and you click on San Diego Living.